So what was it you were saying, Chris, about last lesson? You wished you would have...
So I wish I would have put my clutch down when I was braking, because we were coming around a corner and there was a parked car on my side and there was another car oncoming, so I had to stop really quickly and I just put my brake in.
Yeah.
And although I was hovering over my clutch, I just didn't put it down, and it was like the car was juddering loads. So
Before you... Did it stall?
don't know if it might have stalled, I can't
Right.
remember, but yeah, because it was such an easy thing to do. You just put my clutch in. I don't know why I didn't do it.
I guess that's why you're covering both, aren't you?
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So you use your brake, you use your clutch. Thing is, it happens because you're already slow, aren't you, when you turn into a corner?
Yeah.
And then you see the whatever it is, and all of a sudden it's boom, you've got to react. And so what's the timing of the feet going to be like? Is it going to be brake then clutch, or could it be both at the same time?
Both at the same time.
It's probably going to be, isn't
Yeah.
it? Do you want any reminders with that today, or I mean, you've mentioned it to me, so it sounds like you're...
I think I'll give it a go, but obviously if I make that mistake again, just let me know and then I'll try and keep doing it.
If we feel any rumbling or anything, that means you've not got it quite start getting it down in time. Shall I just say, right, clutch down?
Yes, yeah.
You're going to be covering it all being well, because you said you was last time.
Yeah.
So you'll be in a position to do that. That's good. So clearly you've been thinking about things. Anything else you've been thinking about in terms of your driving? Based on your last drive and that?
I was just really happy with how the roundabouts went and stuff.
Me too.
I think, and the Crossroads as well.
Yeah, really good. So what do you remember about priorities? What's the key thing to work out?
So it depends what situation you're in. Like if you're at Crossroads, then if you're on the minor road and there's like the major road going through,
Yeah.
the people on the major road always have priority. But it depends which way you want to turn. So if you want to go, I don't know, if you want to go right and someone else is opposite you,
Yeah.
you just kind of have to figure that out between what they're doing and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends, but I think I remember most of it.
Fantastic. So if you're going straight on and the car opposite wants to turn right,
Yeah.
who would have priority? So you're going straight on, you're going right.
So it'd be me, because I'm not crossing their path.
Fantastic. If you're turning left and they're turning right, who should go first?
That depends, because you could both kind of clip each other.
Oh, if you're both turning
If you
right.
both, so if he's, oh yeah, okay. So if you both, if one's turning left, one's turning right, you kind of have to figure that one out. It depends. Hang on. So if I'm turning left and he's turning right, then I would have priority.
Bang on.
Yeah.
Because they've got to cross your path. Same again. It's good that. So, do you want to get a few crossroads in today, so you can get any scenarios that you've got to work out, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
So yeah, sort of reconfirm that and see, gain some experience with that. And the roundabouts, they went really well, didn't they?
Yeah, I was quite happy with how it went.
Any bits that you want me to help you with today regarding roundabouts?
It depends. If we come up to like a spiral island again, then or something like that. I think quite a lot of instruction helped.
Yeah.
Because it was just, because I'm comfortable with the driving, it was just like you telling me what to do, but it kind of made sense at the same time. So I was like learning as I went.
So is it like just the format of the roundabout rather than the approach?
Yeah, I think the approach is okay.
Yeah.
Because it's near enough the same with every roundabout.
Yeah.
You've got to make a judgment call whether or not it's clear.
Okay, because we got those single lane roundabouts as well, haven't we? Do you remember we said? So
Yeah.
What's the thing with them? With your road positioning, what should it be?
Try and be central.
Yeah.
Because if you're too far one way or the other, then you could encourage other traffic or bikes and stuff like that.
Really good, really good. So shall I just sort of put a few prompts towards you so we can identify what type of roundabout we're using, and then maybe just help you with sort of structure on the roundabout. Judgment and that'll leave to you, as you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we do anything else last lesson? Add anything else in that we could sort of further today?
Not really sure. We're just going around like a busier area.
I remember something quite significant to do with lane changing.
Yes, yeah. We were doing lane changing, so
Yeah.
if you're well, if you're changing lanes, you've got to check your mirror and whichever direction you're going. So if I'm going left, you've got to check your left mirror and your centre mirror, but then also like have a quick glance left, because there could be someone in your blind spot.
Good stuff.
And it's the same if you go right.
And to do with that signal then?
So you look first and then signal, and if you see somebody, then you just cancel the signal.
Yeah. Or you might not signal in the first place.
Yeah.
So you're making an educated decision. Yeah, good. And just make sure that flashes a couple of times before we get over, so they know what we're about to do. All right then. So do you want to look at potentially doing some faster roads maybe with the lane changing today?
Yeah, can do. Yeah.
Have you done many?
Not really, no. Just it's all been kind of like main roads in town and stuff like that. So not a lot of quick roads.
We could probably use Rainsway a little bit. Sort of get on and off there. We can do that without slip roads.
Yeah.
So we can just look at the actual faster driving and the lane changes.
Yeah. And
then once we're a bit more, used to that, we can then add in the slip roads, the exit roads with that.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get driving, get back used to everything first, and then we'll look to add that in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. So by the end of the lesson, where would you like to be?
I'd like to be more comfortable with probably driving a bit quicker as well.
Yeah.
And also lane changes, I think. Obviously if we come across some roundabouts and stuff, that'd be good too.
We're gonna, the last couple of weeks we've given you all the tools to be on these roads, because we're going to approach these roundabouts now, these different types.
Yeah.
We're going to need the lane changing. So you see you've got all the tools now to bring into today.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be good. All right, well, drive on when you're ready. Take the next road on the left. Do you think he's got any mates that could follow him out?
Potentially, yeah.
Just have a look over before you get there. Try and go over the top of that bag so the tyres don't go on it, just in case there's anything sharp inside it. It's unlikely, but
you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
What was your clearance like last lesson?
It had improved, so before that it was pretty bad. I was pretty close to all the parked cars on my left.
Okay.
I think it's just because I'm still trying to get used to the road position and stuff like that.
Yeah. Are you using a bit more your left peripheral now?
Yeah, I'm using my left mirror as well.
Okay.
To kind of judge.
Yeah. So looking at the mirror, because you need to know where that is, don't you, in relation to what you're approaching.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn left at the end. So what do you need to be quite observant about as you get to this junction, just in case it changes?
Whether or not it's closed or open.
And the lights?
And the lights as well, yeah.
Take your time, do everything earlier. Anybody at the lights while we're waiting?
No.
No? On reflection, do you think you could have gone there?
Probably could have gone there, yeah.
You set up lovely, aren't you, with the feet? Great footwork on the incline. We looked at that, didn't we, a couple of weeks back?
We did, yeah.
Did you just do that without thinking that time, or was it just?
I think it was kind of just like a subconscious thing. Like once you've done it, you just kind of know to do it.
That's why we want it, isn't it? Yeah. So what could the bus do?
Could pull out.
Is that bag stuck to the bottom of the car? I can hear something dragging, can you?
Yeah.
Just drive as you normally would. We'll pull over in a minute.
Okay.
I reckon we've got a tagger on.
Yeah, I can hear something.
Just baggies on there. See, you could have drove around the bag.
Yeah.
But then you drive into the wrong side of the road on a corner, aren't we?
Yeah.
Plus it was a tight one, so it'd have been a right awkward thing to go around. So, don't drive off it at me, will you?
No, I won't.
It's number 52.
Number.
Do you know where number 52 is? Do you reckon we should drop it back off on the way in?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I think we should, yeah.
Yeah. It's the other side of.
It's nice and warm anyway.
Yeah.
There's a nice hole in the bottom too. I think it'd be alright for the plastics.
Yeah, that's never happened before.
It hasn't, actually. And the reason I said drive over the middle was because once on a lesson, there was a white bag on the floor.
Yeah.
Mentioned it to the pupil, he then still drove over it. I thought he'd got it, and then he still drove over it. Have a guess what it was full of?
Glass.
4-inch nails.
Yeah.
It was right outside a building site, actually.
Yeah.
And the tyre, I think it was the back tyre, just went pop, gone.
Straight away.
Straight away, gone.
Yeah.
So it could be worse, we could have a flat tyre. So that's why I said avoid it, but
yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Wasn't actually attached to anything, it's just because it's quite bulky, you know, it just hung onto the bottom of the car. How was your weekend, Chris?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, didn't really do a lot, just working.
Completely lost my focus now. What are we doing again?
So Crossroads and driving a bit quicker as well. So doing quicker lane changes.
Okay. What that might mean is that we approach a roundabout at, for example, 50 or 70.
Right. Okay.
So it's just going to be everything exactly the same as you'd usually do. Loads more braking before you start doing the last little bits with the gears.
So just focus on the braking and then gears come after that.
Yeah, focus on getting the bulk of the speed down via the foot brake, not with the gears. We're just going to brake to slow and then just the gear to go just before
I was having a conversation with my mum about that because that's what I wasn't kind of sure on.
Yeah.
Like, because when I'm driving that quick, I didn't know whether or not I had to go down through the gears or just to brake.
Okay. So it's definitely the right time to be sort of looking at this stuff, I feel. Yeah. It ties in quite nicely. No, the only sure sign that the car is asking for a gear change is if it starts to, you know, that judder?
Yeah.
Or that rumble. That's when it needs to drop the gear.
Yeah.
So you hit your braking limit there. Now, your road positioning today, where do you reckon it is more so?
You think more to the right?
It is.
Centre,
Yeah, generally.
Okay.
So with that in mind, just keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
Put yourself to that left. It's a nice Ferrari there.
Yeah.
You want to eat your chips in that car, would you? So the roundabout ahead then, just after the green light, we're going to go ahead there.
Okay.
What mirror are you going to check for cyclists now?
Centre and left.
What was it very important there, particularly?
Because there was a junction as well, so someone could have come from the junction.
You're just about to steer left, weren't you, as well? So we're going to go ahead here, second exit. So what could have been the danger there?
Could have invited another car in.
Yeah, it's 2 lanes on that one. Did you notice on approach?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So we're going to change lanes one to the right now. So just cover your braking clutch here. So if we speed up, we'll create some space. The black car's letting us go. Blind spot glance. There's nobody else there. Then we're going to go ahead. 3rd exit here. Keep your eye on your lane. Stay in the lane you're in. So count the exits for me. We're taking 3rd.
3rd, okay. So that's 1.
Yep. What was that?
2.
So from here, you know exactly where you're going then already. You don't even need to see it. Well, when you do, you'll drive to it. But keep in the lane you're in. And how early can we signal then?
Yeah, no.
Keep driving now, or else all these will pull out in front of you. The cars behind will go in the back. Just follow this lane for the ring road, not Asda. Keep right, because most people cut this line here. Keep right, that's it. Right again, just there. Perfect. And what could happen at these lights?
Good change. There's a pedestrian there.
Good, nice mirror work too. Car up behind, is it close or?
He is kind of close, yeah.
So we really got to get that lane positioning to stay safe when we only approach these roundabouts. We can do differently this time. We're going to go ahead again at the next one.
Stay in my lane as opposed to being on both.
Yeah. Why do you think you strayed to the right?
I think I kind of thought it was a single lane one, but I think I got it mixed up with that.
Okay. I think you was looking to the right a lot as well, so you just weren't aware of where you was going towards. So how many lanes on the approach to this one then?
2.
So which lane are we going to use for a head? Left and left.
Left and lane.
So mirrors, blind spot glance. That was loads different with your obs, you know.
Was it?
You did lots of something that you didn't do on the first one that time.
What was that?
Looking back forwards.
Yeah.
You just look right, you won't know where you're driving. Because before you enter that roundabout, you're just driving straight really, aren't you?
Yeah.
The trouble is, there's another bag. The trouble is, the roundabouts curve as you approach.
Yeah.
Because they're circular. So if we don't look forward at that point, we don't curve with them, but we end up driving somewhere else. Good to you're aware of your driving position there, and it is central at the moment. Well done.
That's good. Yeah, I think I'm getting more of a feel for it.
Yeah. Concealed from here, but it's just stuffed to these bushes on the right. Hold on, can you see it?
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into that right turn box as early as you can, just to keep traffic flowing behind. Check your left mirror, you'll see them. Rolls, awesome. And then we're turning right at the junction just in front there. So right turn here. Stuff there. Anything you want to go over in terms of roundabout approach and lane positioning? I feel like I've covered everything, but is there any uncertainties in your mind?
No, I think I'm comfortable with it. I would say I should have been in second though, and that because I was in third at the roundabout we just did. There was a bit of a rumble because I was going quite slow for third.
Okay. Yeah, you can see how orange that sun is today. You can see it glaring
weird,
off.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You see the glare onto the metal in that?
Yeah.
I've never seen it so orange in my life. It was quite late to get light as well this morning. Do you notice?
No, I didn't.
I know the clocks go back this week, but I don't think that's...
I was asleep till quite late. So.
Was you?
Yeah.
Look at you. Good, you got clutch down early enough then, didn't you?
Yeah. More accelerated.
Clutch down. Or else that happens.
Yeah.
Nice and steady. So why did the car bounce a bit when you started the engine?
Because I don't have my clutch in.
Yeah. So as far as the car's aware, the car's still in gear and you're asking it to go?
Right, okay, yeah.
So it tries to go. Which it normally does when the clutch is up, because it doesn't know you've just stalled. So clutch down does what to those plates?
Separates them.
Yep, so that's turning, but it ain't turning the tyres anymore because you've disconnected.
Yep.
Right, we've just come round here, so I just want to get a couple of bit of roundabout practicing, and then I think go on to what we said.
Yeah.
And that will lead us on to some different crossroads and stuff as well. So we'll just look to we'll turn right shortly. So next road on the right, Chris, please. Have a guess which way at the end. Right.
Right, is it?
Yeah, just looping back to the main road. Lorry do?
Stop there and be dead awkward.
What are you going to have to do now then?
Gonna have to edge forward.
Do you want me to open my window so we can hear stuff as well?
Yeah, that'd help. I think we're alright. Yeah.
Yep.
And that car was quite a bit close to that junction as well. Right,
do you know, before we get on the carriageway,
yeah.
Do you want to pull over and go over the few bits and bobs that you need to know?
Yeah.
Just to be aware of.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when it's safe, pull up at a convenient place.
Don't want to double park. Or be up opposite the junction.
Good. Drive on if you need to, Chris. Just don't forget to recheck your mirrors, make sure it's all good. I'm really pleased with the loads of stuff you just did then. It didn't seem like nothing, but it was. I'll explain what in a minute. You probably already know. Or I'll just confirm. Yeah, no rush. Whenever you're ready, Chris. Nearly saved you.
Was that? I wasn't in neutral.
You put it in first instead of neutral.
God.
So not as good that time pulling up.
No.
Nearly. Pop it in neutral. Because if you leave it in first, so you start the engine up in a bit.
It's just going to jump.
Probably because your clutch will be up. You'd have forgot. First time, loads of impressive stuff. Didn't signal.
Yeah.
Because you didn't need to.
Yeah.
I think we had that conversation, was it last lesson?
Might have been the one before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're clearly analysing what you see in front and in your mirrors.
Yeah.
You didn't want to double park. What was the other things?
Oh, there was a junction.
Yeah. So some good stuff there. So yeah, just quick talk over carriageways. So yeah, we're probably going to need to do some lane changing.
Okay.
What's your understanding of carriageways? As in, we did a 41 last week.
Yeah.
It was only a short stretch and we managed to do a lane change. But today there's going to be more distance and it's going to be a bit quicker. We're going to be doing 70s and that. What's your understanding of the concept at the moment? Anything you can tell me?
There's not a lot really that I know because I've not really done it yet. I've not covered a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's pretty much the same concept. It's just a lot quicker. So it's a bit more to think about.
Yeah, and you know what? At the same time, potentially less to think about because you've not got the potential of all these people coming out of these houses, reversing off their driveways,
Yeah.
not stopping at the junctions, kids coming out of the alleyways and stepping out from the back of cars. You know, all that side of it. So statistically safer roads, but you've still got to be on the ball because the speed you're travelling at, one slip up and we could be in big trouble, couldn't we?
Yeah.
So one important thing is to realise is there is no such thing as a fast lane.
Okay.
It doesn't exist. There's overtaking lanes, so we might have lane 1, so it goes outwards from the left, lane 1, 2 and 3.
Right.
We'll be in lane 1 for normal driving.
Yep.
And if we need to overtake, that might mean lane 2. If there's slow moving vehicles in lane 2, or for whatever reason, we might need to use lane 3. And then we move back to the left when we've finished, and back to the middle, and then to the left when we've finished. Because I think if people have in their head fast lanes, you ever heard of lane hoggers? Middle lane hoggers or something like that? Everybody's always on about it. It's so that causes road rage and frustration, and I think because in their minds potentially they think that they're not a lorry, they're not towing a caravan, so they don't need to be in the left.
Yeah.
But that's what causes congestion on all these roads, people not using them properly. In terms of moving back after a lane change, remember what we said last week as to when we know it's safe, what we check? There's a particular point where we know we've got good clearance to, we've passed the car and then we're going to move back in.
Oh no, I can't remember that one.
That's fine. That's what this is about. Because we only did 1 or 2, didn't we? So I wouldn't expect you to remember it all. Because you didn't really, put it into practice massively. That's what today's about.
I think I know. Yeah, moving into a lane. I think we did that. Would it just be the same for when you're going back in? So if you've moved over to another lane and then you're just going back into the normal one, it'd just be the same process.
It's exactly the same process.
Yeah.
The only thing you need to bear in mind is the car that you overtook, when it's in your blind spot, could start speeding up.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to check this mirror. Sorry, you need to wait till you see it in this mirror. I don't want you staring in that mirror because you'll probably ease off the gas and lose your position.
Yeah.
But when you see the vehicle that you've just overtook, if that vehicle's well and truly behind you, you will see it in this.
Yeah.
Because where does this only show?
Behind you.
Behind you.
Yeah.
Why is it a bad idea to rely just on door mirrors? What type of glass are they?
They are curved, so it seems further away than it is.
Exactly. So we're going to check them in pairs because we still want to know what's at the side of us, and this one won't show that.
Yeah.
But when we're moving in, we'll start the process only when we see the car appear, and because it'll be on the left and you'll be on the right when you overtake, it'll come from this side and it'll start to come into play. As soon as it comes into play, you've got good clearance. Follow through the rest of your routine.
So as long as you've seen it in the rearview mirror, you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's you've got a good clearance then.
Yeah.
What we'll probably experience today is somebody overtake us and then cut us up to move back in because it's just poor judgment from them. They've probably, well, let's not go into that, but yeah. So yeah, no such thing as a fast lane, left-hand lane for normal driving. We're going to come to quite a few merges as well. Have we dealt with many merges before?
No. Don't think so.
Do you know what a merge is?
Not entirely sure, no.
It's just when two, in fact you have, and we're relating it now, or just bringing it together. As like I said, I kept using the word general last lesson.
Okay.
Off your roundabouts, 2 lanes become 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing, but we might have it just on, you know, just on a straight road. It might turn 2 to 1, 1 to 2, and so on.
Yeah.
How are you going to spot that in advance so you're not, you know, side by side with the car because you didn't realise it was merging, for example?
There'll be a sign, but also you've got to be aware of the shape of the road. So if it, because normally with a straight road you can see ahead.
Yeah.
So obviously if it looks narrow, then it's going to be merging.
That's right. Good. And that's bang on. You might see the white arrows on the floor as well. Just
Yeah.
You said signs, yeah. You might see a sign, but you might see the arrows on the floor too, and that'll highlight exactly where the merge is. But they're not always there, so they're just you know, use many clues, and then at least one should work. How would you identify? I'll tell you what. So there's one last thing we need to go over. Is all that clear at the moment?
Yeah.
What does? Find it in a minute. What does this sign mean to you? I think we've covered it on country when we did country roads. The white one with black line through.
Is that the one where it's warning you that the speed is about to change?
Yeah, it's a new speed limit.
Okay.
What does it mean? What does the sign mean?
Is it like prepared to start slowing or something?
No, it means national speed limit.
Oh, that. Oh, right. Okay.
Let me show you something, because national speed limit on a single lane in a car would be what?
60.
Exactly. Now, why do you think it's got a white circle with a black line through? Wouldn't it be easier if it just told us the actual limit, do you think?
I think it's just because it's kind of like dependent on the road, because it's quite a because normally with single lane roads you don't have to worry about other people, it's just about your driving. But obviously if there's some reason you need to slow down, then it's just kind of, it's like up to your discretion kind of, I think.
What, that you don't have to do the limit sort of thing?
Yeah, as long as you obviously not overdoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only going to do what's safe. So because we can do 60 or 70 today, doesn't mean we will. But we'll look to. I think the best way to think of it is look for a reason why you wouldn't do 70.
Okay.
Because for us today, it's going to be 70. You see, the national speed limit. We're going to start off on a 50, and then it's going to turn to 70.
Yeah.
Let me show you why it doesn't. Why it's that sign. Because, so white circle with black line, because if you see, for different types of vehicles, look, this is the highway code, the national speed limit on single carriageways is different. So can
Yeah.
you imagine how confusing it would be if you're driving down a road and it's littered with signs everywhere?
Yeah.
So it's up to you as the driver of your particular type of vehicle to know what your national speed limit is for you. Hope that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to then distinguish, okay, we're in a car, are we on a single carriageway or are we on a dual, right? How would you know that you're on a dual carriageway? Because it says a limit 70 there in a car, so you need to know you're on a dual. How would you know?
Would there be 2 lanes on the other side as well? Or is that?
Yeah. So this picture here, look at this bottom one. Ignore the overhead and ignore, well, there's 3 lanes there, but let's just pretend it's 2.
Okay, yeah.
Let's just pretend that's 2. So 2 that way, 2 this way. From your understanding, would this be a single or dual carriageway? There's 2 lanes outside, 2 lanes outside. What do you think?
Would it be a dual?
Single.
Single. Okay.
Now this is, most people get this wrong, and if you ask, you ask 10 full licence holders what a dual carriageway is, I bet you a good chunk of them will say, oh, it's 2 lanes,
Yeah.
and then, but it's not. It can actually be 1 lane either side. All it needs to qualify as a dual carriageway is a physical divider in the middle, such as this.
Okay, right, yeah.
A barrier, a curb, bollards, I already said that really, didn't I? A fence, a hedge, anything physical. So if it's just paint, it could even be a solid line, that would still be a single because it's a carriageway, it's a road.
Yeah.
If it's one road,
Okay.
this is dual because it's divided, nothing to do with the amount of lanes.
Yeah.
Alright, has that surprised you? Or?
A little bit, but it makes sense now.
Good.
I understand why.
Excellent. Any further questions?
No, I think I get that.
And would you like a full talk through on when we start doing it in terms of gears and...
Yeah, I think that'd help.
And I'll point out the merges in advance because it's going to be quicker, so you might have less time to think than you used to.
Yeah.
You've been in 5th before, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
6th? Been in 6th before?
No, I'm not.
This car's going to ask you for 6th gear at about 46ish mile an hour, give or take.
Okay.
Depending on if we're uphill or whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just, when you're in 5th, you just keep it palmed over towards your legs, for example, and just push backwards.
Okay.
Do you want to practice that before we get going, or do you feel okay with it?
I think I feel okay with it. It's just literally bring it back, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's it. That's the lot.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll get going when you're ready. We're going to use a roundabout to get on it,
Okay.
to get on the carriageway.
That's way too high now.
It's alright, at least you realised.
Yeah.
Problem solving. What else are you going to check? That's it. I remember you missed that last lesson. Was it just once? Or?
I think it was once, but you caught me out on it, and I was trying really hard to like make sure that I did it afterwards.
To reinforce why it's important, you tell me now, what's the danger in not checking the blind spot? Because you could turn around to me and say, oh, I've checked the mirrors.
Yeah. There could be anything in your blind spot, so it could be, you know, a kid, could be a cyclist, could be another driveway that you can't see.
So would you see them in your mirrors then? If it's in your blind spot?
Potentially, no, you wouldn't if it's in your blind spot.
There we go. It's weird, and it's going dead light dark.
It is, it's quite strange.
I've never really seen this before, you know. Not with an orange sun.
No.
Pure orange. So we're going to turn left when we reach the end of the road, Chris.
Okay.
Have you got your lights on? They are on.
They are on then.
We'll talk more about that in a bit. Try a lot more left, follow that curve.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to turn right for the ring road, Chris, at the roundabout. That's 3rd exit.
Third exit.
Yeah. Good mirrors there. So, I'm going to keep right on our lane positioning and approach, yeah?
Yeah.
So turning right, don't forget your signal. Exiting the lane that you've, just in case the van comes out at us.
Okay.
Alright, so into second. And then we're going to look to change lanes to the left as we're accelerating. So if you check your mirrors, see what's around us, a bit more gas. Now check your mirrors, signal there, blind spot glance. With your blind spot glance, just be a bit more definite with it before you go across. We're not moving the shoulders or anything, but just a quick turn like this.
Right.
So we've got the arrows up ahead. So we're going to be merging from our lane to the right. Have a quick check in your mirror, see if anything's coming off this slip road. And in your right mirror now before you merge, are we all good?
Yes.
And your speed's doing 33 at the minute, we could be doing 50. We've got the lorry there, so we need to be careful. But we'll up the speed a bit.
Yeah.
Just pop from 3rd to 5th, do a block change, because we're too fast for 4 now, so we'll do a block change. Fantastic. Now, let's get up towards 50 mile an hour, because I think it's safe to. I can't see a reason why we wouldn't. Are you comfortable in doing that?
Yeah.
We'll get to 50 then, we'll see if we overtake the lorry. Just keep out 50, Chris, if we can. Regular glances at your speedo. Quite happy with your steering and your positioning, it's quite steady.
Yeah.
And when you see the lorry in your centre mirror, tell me.
Yeah.
So signal door mirror now and blind sideways glance. Quick, bit more authoritative with that glance. Just before you go, and then get your eyes back forward before you move. You did a real good job though. And just pop backwards into 6th. That one just touched his brakes, not sure why. Probably because he saw the speed camera and thought, oh, what's the speed limit? Yeah, maybe. So it's still 50 at the moment, look, and it repeats it regularly. The reason being is because there's regular street lights. If it didn't repeat, we'd have to think it's 30, one mix of regular street lights. Yes. We're not coming off in 300 yards, that's what that sign means. We're just going to follow the road ahead at 200 yards. Oh, you're already aware of that, aren't you? Because we did the speed ones before.
I think so, yeah.
Now, in a minute, the road's going to sort of open up. Okay. So you might feel tempted to, or not realise that you're speeding. So keep a close eye on that, remembering what the limit is. Yes. Do you see the physical divider in the middle of the road?
Yes.
So it's nothing to do with these lanes. That's the reason this is a dual carriageway. Okay. Keep your eye on your speed.
Yeah.
See those white circles and black lines through ahead?
Yes, I do.
So we're in a car, we've decided it's a dual carriageway, we've worked that out. Yeah. So when we get level with those signs, what speed can you do?
60.
70 on a dual. 60 on a single carriageway.
So you can do 70 on a dual.
That's it. So check your mirrors before we, and your right one, just so you got an understand as to what's around you. Yeah. Because that is part of the decision as to if it's safe to speed up. Because if that car slows down and we're speeding up with the something coming in the right, we can't change lanes and go around. Yeah. So I think we'll sort of keep at this speed now. That's about 65. We're gonna then turn right at the roundabout. So if we do the, do you want to go and do the lane change to get the right hand lane? Yeah. Good. Nice one. We're going to turn 3rd exit. Can you see the layout, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. 3rd exit we're going to take. Now, I'm going to give you help with the approach, like we said, because it's a bit faster. So I checked the mirrors early on, right now.
Yeah.
And I just probably start easing off the gas now. Yeah. Let that do most of the work. Now give you signal to 300 yards, don't want to signal too early. Now start braking. Now cover the clutch, Chris, please don't press it though. Okay. And it's going to be 40 in the new road. Right. Now, just simply go from 6th to 3rd. Keep on the brake though at the same time. Bounce to neutral. And forward. Clutch up. Forward and right. Don't lose that position. These cars will probably go straight on. Look. Keep going. Don't press the brake or the clutch. Fantastic. See, you didn't need to go for 6, 5, 4, 3. You're wasting time there with that. Plus using more fuel. So that's exit 1, that's exit 2. And we're taking number 3. Good stuff. I think we could start sort of coming across before this black one comes out to us. Yes. Yeah. Another sideways glance to the left here, Chris. Just in case somebody is in that lane. It's a bit of an awkward roundabout, that one. And like last week, we're going to use this lane to go ahead at this roundabout. But we'll just exit in the right like last week. Yeah. You alright with this? Yeah. Slow earlier to give that Mondeo time to get past. That's it. And then just slot it. Fantastic. No need for a right signal?
Yeah, so
just... Is that car coming into this road? You see that car's turning left there, that junction, so you should stick with your right all the way through and exit in the right hand lane for the merge. Because if that puts his foot down and gets on the inside of you and you peel off the roundabout too early, what could happen? Could do. Worst case scenario. But you know these, if somebody's really keen to get their foot down, they're not going to be really thinking about you too much. So you've got to think about that. So we're going to turn right at the roundabout, 3rd exit. In 3rd.
I felt okay in 3rd.
Really controlled, weren't it?
Yeah.
I think it's because you slowed down early enough on approach. Yeah. Cyclists, and have we done much overtaking cyclists?
No, we've done a little bit. Just give them a wide berth.
Is it going to be safe to anything coming around this?
Yeah. It's quite an open bed.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. So if he swerved then, we'd be fine, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
driving at those speeds?
It's pretty good actually. I think I was just nervous because I'd never done that. But like you say, there's less to think about really. I think what you're going to worry about is your lane and the people around you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about people coming, you know, kids and dogs and stuff like that.
On A roads, so with green signs,
Yeah.
you sometimes get like junctions on the carriageway. You just have to be careful. Somebody might pull out and they shouldn't do on a junction.
Yeah.
Now, when we're on more carriageways, I'll point out these junctions and just highlight the danger.
Okay.
So what do you see in front?
Junction.
Turning left. Yeah, turning left first exit, please. Easy.
Can't get used to these indicators.
Don't get me started on that. Should we go off and have a look at some Crossroad scenarios then?
Yeah.
And we can add in to that.
That's weird.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah.
Well. You see, one of their headlights is blinding us and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
It's usually an MLT value that you know, because one's pointing up in your eye line,
Yeah.
the other one's normal.
I think those LED ones, because we sell them at work, the 130% brighter ones, they're just deadly.
Well, they're like modifications, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not. That's when people go to a shop and say, "Oh, I'm putting these bulbs in instead of these."
Yeah.
So they're not meant to. Well, I don't know. We're going to take next left, just after the hedge.
Just after the
Yeah, literally just here.
Okay.
Good stuff. So you're ready to be out there with your feet if you needed to.
Yeah.
And then we're going to turn left at these crossroads. Can you see the crossroad?
Yeah.
Turning left there. Making it look easy now. So, what, open, closed?
It's pretty open on that one.
Just before the lights, we're going to turn right. What position would you take up before you model?
Bit central.
Suddenly gone brighter again, a bit darker.
Yeah.
Notice.
Yeah, it's really weird.
When you get to the... Here's one for you. I just want you to follow this road ahead.
Okay.
When you get close to the end, you're going to see what I mean by that.
Right.
You probably already know.
Yeah.
But I want you to do most of the thinking.
Okay.
Good. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice and steady. Saw something in the corner of my eye there. There was a van passing on the other road. I thought it was something going round us. You did check, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Never be too careful, eh? You stalled a couple of times today, you know.
Yeah.
It's for a dead simple to you now.
Okay.
And you're going to kick yourself when I say it. Do you
Yeah.
know why you've stalled a couple of times?
Is it just my accelerator hitting down to
Yeah.
the knob?
You're just not getting
that
on
it?
that before you get to your clutch.
I don't
Do you think maybe it's like a bit of you want to feel like you want to get gone? Because that was a scenario where
maybe
you just turned in. You was, mate. I don't know.
I just need to get out of that habit because it's. I know what I'm doing with my feet.
You definitely do know. Yeah.
I just need to
take next right.
Need to remember that I control it all with my clutch and not my accelerator, because I think that's one of the reasons as well.
What do you mean?
In terms of like, so it depends on how quick I bring my clutch off. So I could have 1,500 revs.
Yeah, you could in theory.
And still,
still not whiz off.
Yeah, still come off the clutch slowly and be in control. And it's irritating that I know that because I'm not doing it.
Do you want me to help you with it at all? Anything I could do to help? Do you think?
Yeah, I think if you just, it's like when I'm pulling off.
I know. I sort of can feel that it could happen. When I feel it, shall I say?
Yeah.
Gas first.
Yeah.
Steady clutch. That should solve that. I'll say that until further notice, or until we agree that, clearly if you're doing it just easy. So your road positioning at the moment, then what do you think?
Maybe a bit too far right.
Yeah. What do you see ahead?
Mini roundabout.
Yeah, could you turn? We'll go straight ahead there, please. Straight on. Would you signal for straight on?
No, because there's a junction.
No, we're looking to the right, Chris.
Okay.
How early did you look to the right?
Probably a bit too late on that.
You could argue I distracted you with that, but I also didn't want to confuse anybody and tell anybody we're turning left.
Yeah.
So saw you signalling right for straight on earlier as well? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, don't signal right for it. So when we're going straight on, why do you think sometimes there might be a bit of a, I don't know, am I wrong in saying confusion?
No. I'm not sure really. I think it's just, I kind of feel like I want to let people know where I'm going. But that one was pretty awkward because there was a junction straight after, so they probably would have thought I was going for the junction.
No signal's the best. It's like the Crossroads, isn't it? We said last week to go ahead.
Yeah, no signal is your best signal. Yeah.
Because anything other is going to tell them that you're doing something you're not.
Yeah.
So all we'll do is signal left to tell people we're coming off, so they know they can come on.
Okay.
They're the only people that really need. That's probably the most important. Sort of tyres are on top of the white centre line and there's the oncoming car there.
Yeah, yeah.
So what could be the danger?
Could flip me.
Yeah.
Or I could flip it.
Yeah. What do you see?
Crossroads.
I'm going to turn right there. Do you want any help?
I think it'll be alright.
Okay.
Always a busy one. This.
Yeah. Just come off the gas a bit while you wait. Keep the clutch in exactly the same place. Otherwise, you could burn the clutch out for too long.
Okay.
It's a weird one because you want to be prepared to go as well, but it's just finding the best. best outcome, really. So if you went now, what would be the problem with that?
I'd be blocking.
You would.
Pretty much mostly.
Yeah. Keep up to date a bit more with the right as well, and the left, and forward, in a continuous triangle sort of thing. So you keep it up to date, because you just in the flick of a switch, things change at these scenarios. Somebody holds back, you know, and do you think they're definitely holding back for us, or are these holding back for the junction?
They'll be holding back for the junction.
Yeah. Just go off the gas a little bit. That's it. And then before we go, we'll just pop that back on. Gas on now. Could take this. Could have done. Did you feel it was a bit close?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So where's the white one going, do you think?
Straight on.
So if what you got to realise as well, sometimes these don't understand their priorities, so some people are insistent that you go first.
Right.
That's got gone, so maybe not. Ignore that completely. We've had one little chance. Just go off the revs a little bit while we wait. So he's waiting for us. The Mini's holding back. Is the Mini still? Yeah?
Yeah.
Tricky Crossroad, good for practice.
Yeah, just that busy.
Really busy. I think if we do another one, we'll probably do one a bit quieter.
Yeah.
We know we've done that one once today. We did that last lesson as well, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So what we've got coming up?
Roundabout.
Yeah, we're going to turn right there.
Okay.
Do you remember what type of roundabout?
It's a spiral one.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying I don't need to indicate because it's controlled by lights? Or?
You still do, because there's pedestrians around that could be using it, they could step off.
Okay.
So do signal right. So what lane are you going to drive into here now? Because you're turning right.
Or is it the right one?
The right, because we're turning right. If you go to that one, you'll go straight on.
Which exit?
It's third. 1, 2, and what lane do you spiral into now?
This one.
Yeah.
So it's the middle one. Okay.
Okay, and then as you're accelerating, we're going to look to do that lane change. That's really good. Keep the signal on until you completed it. I'll probably be about now, just in case there's things around that we could confuse. Just straighten up now, more centre of your lane.
Yeah.
Steer left a little, a bit more. There. Where's the curb appear now? Right now, because you're centre now. Is it about here?
Yes, yeah, it's in line with the...
Steer left again a bit. More. It should be about here now.
Yeah.
Something like that. So the road's merging here. Check your centre and right mirror. Anything coming down?
Yes, at the moment.
Yeah, well, just roll all the way to your lines, or else they could get in front of you. Gas first. Clutch back down. That's it. Careful whether you plan ahead, because you might be left blocking the crossing then. Yeah, because their brake lights never went off, did they? For example. So while your clutch is on the floor, we're going to do what with the right foot? Not too hastily, but yeah. It's a lot different, isn't it, when you do that?
Yeah. It's a lot better.
stops, particularly if you're at crossing first in the queue, just because there's people walking in front of us. Anything join us on the left before we turn?
No.
I know you checked back there.
Yeah.
We just got to keep up to date, haven't we? Do you think you would have checked that if I hadn't prompted you?
I think maybe, but probably not as soon as you said.
Okay. Want to do it well before we turn, though, don't we? Or else
definitely.
Once we start turning, it's too late. What's in front, Chris?
Is that a Crossroads? Is it a junction?
Blue circle.
Oh, mini roundabout.
You've got it. We're going to go ahead. It's a no signal, Chris. Ahead.
Oh. Okay.
That would be left.
Right, yeah.
So this is the same street, would you agree? The street's just got a bend on.
Yeah.
Bit of a kink to it.
I think that's what threw me off.
Yeah. So you've just got to imagine the roundabout hasn't been plonked there yet, and there isn't an exit on the right or left. This should be the same road. That's how you want to visualise it on the approach, so you can get that just right. Now be careful on this bend because they can come round in the wrong side of the road quite quickly. As we follow the road ahead, we're going to have some more crossroads, and this is a variation of crossroad now because they're like a four-way crossroad. So you've got giveways, 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 and giveways. I've looked in the essential skills on the highway code. I can't find a definite explanation for this. So I would give way to the right like a mini roundabout. But these, unlike a roundabout, are extremely close. Look, with a hedge. So we're going ahead, but be prepared to stop. See what I mean? Something could just go straight across you.
Yeah. That is pretty close.
Very.
Isn't it?
Good gas work. Dodgy, innit?
Yeah.
The amount of people that must go through them without stopping.
There's quite a few accidents there, to be honest.
Yeah, the warning triangle's telling us,
Giveaway.
and it's a four-way crossroad again.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead on this one.
Okay.
So before we go,
Yeah. Wait for that bus.
yeah, because if we go,
We're going to be stuck.
we'll have to reverse back into the crossroad, I think, to get the bus past, don't we?
Yeah,
So
I think
well
I
done.
agree on that.
Yep. And what are you going to set? The bus behind us, no pressure though. What are you going to set?
Revs.
Don't go until you can see past this bus.
Okay.
Just, do you know, so the bus has stopped because it can't go down the road. So we're going to have to be really gentle in just getting a better view past the side of that bus before we go. Keep looking in all the other ways too. Fantastic, Chris. Well done. Really safe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why we didn't go?
Yeah.
Would you think you would have done if I hadn't mentioned it? So now you looked before the bus got there.
I saw the bus, so I think maybe I would have gone, but like you say, it would have been stuck if we did.
Yeah, and also getting gone after. I mean, when the blue bus is alongside us.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to turn left at the end. So what do you want to put more focus on now then going forward?
To be honest, I think I want to just be comfortable with pulling off as well, because that's a basic really that I should be able to do. And although I know how to do it, I'm just not pulling it off all the time.
Yeah.
So I try and get that in my head. But also I think I'm more comfortable with Crossroads as well.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially after last lesson, I'm quite aware of like priorities and stuff.
Yeah. look how the day looked. It don't really make any sense to
It's like
me.
middle of winter.
Doesn't make a bit of sense. So at the roundabout, Chris, we'll turn right.
Okay.
This one.
Which exit?
Third.
Third exit.
Now your one lane here, you see what happens to it?
Yeah, it splits off into 3.
To 2, this one does, that one stays.
2. Okay.
That one stays as 1. What lane are you going to follow for ahead?
Left.
First? Yeah. This one, yeah, just stay in this one. See that white arrow up there?
Yeah.
Gas first?
It's merging, isn't it?
Yeah. Just stay in the one you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No point changing lanes because you're going to merge in a bit, so it's just disrupts the flow of traffic really. Just keep up to date with your left mirror and the road ahead and just, that's it, lovely. Would you agree it was a bit potentially pointless at that point?
Yeah, because people know you've got to merge, so they're just going to let it happen anyway.
Alright, you might do it if you're new to a new area and you don't know yet, but if you know or whatever, then don't bother. I'm going to go ahead of the roundabout, that's second exit. Good job in keeping your position. Gas third. So you said you wanted to focus on the foot thing. Do you want to go off and do some junctions then and centre the focus on that, or do you want to keep doing the carriageway stuff and roundabouts? How do you feel? Turn right, by the way. You don't have to decide right now. It's going to be third exit here. There again. Try and get you second early though. You're still in first, aren't we, doing 15 around the roundabout? What that might mean as we come off is that we're slower than we should be too.
Yeah.
Good mirrors there for the merge though, impressed with that. Do you want to do a bit more carriageway stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Alright. And we'll turn right at the roundabout.
Third exit.
Yep. Second here. That's done then and out of the way. Your hands are ready to steer then, aren't they? Mention the gas thing when we've stopped the last couple of times because you're already on it. I can hear you already on it. Yeah. And I'd say for you, that's your checklist. That's your tick in the list. Can I hear it? If you can't hear it, you ain't got it. So your first thing is gas on. I can hear it right now, clutch.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been doing the last couple. We're going to take the second exit at the roundabout.
Okay.
What lane are you going to use?
Second. First.
Yeah.
Left that lane.
talked about stopping behind vehicles and the gap you should be leaving.
Yeah, we did speak about it briefly.
And what gap is that? Can you remember as a reference? Come back to that, Chris. We're going to turn left, first exit at the roundabout. In this scenario, look through each gap of each car, you know, on the approach. So look here through that gap. Look there through that gap. You got it?
Yeah.
Just a little tip. You might have done that anyway, but just wanted to make sure that I've at least once sent that to you. Yeah. You're training. Check your left mirror, steer left, it's safe. What was your plan on the approach before I said that?
I was probably going to slow down quite a bit
Yeah.
and then pull around him after it was safe. But I didn't really need to slow down on that one.
Exactly. So all we need to do is spot this stuff early and problem solve dead early.
Yeah.
The less we have to do that way.
Yeah, it just makes it easier, doesn't it?
Keeps the roads flowing as well. Less risk of a rear ender and all that. You see that video I posted on YouTube? I got rear ended the other year.
Did you? No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'll just put it on the page of the day. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get you to get onto a dual carriageway,
Yep.
and where we're going to enter from, there isn't going to be a slip road again.
Okay. Yep.
What we've got coming up.
Roundabout and lights.
Good. We're going to turn right at the roundabout. That's your second exit, isn't it? Right, look.
Second exit, is it?
Right turn, yeah, second exit.
So am I in the left lane for that one?
You look at the road markings,
Yeah.
you can use both, but do use the right next. The car's got on the inside of it. So right and second exit. And then if you could change lanes, Chris, one to the left when it's safe here. You alright with that?
Yep.
And then we're going to go ahead. The reason we did that is because we're going to go ahead at this roundabout, second exit.
Second exit.
Again, look through these gaps like we said, because it make the difference. You're checking that. So we needed centre left and a left signal. You know, to exit the roundabout.
Yeah.
Why do you think you missed that then? Any ideas?
I think it was because it was just going straight, but I still needed a signal on that one.
Slowed down a bit, didn't we, on the approach to the roundabout?
Yeah.
So something could catch your bike or something. Or something could be just coming out of that exit. What, you know, the first exit, we'll take second.
Yeah.
be entering this quite fast-paced road, we're going to be building up speed quite quickly. If we don't, we could be a hazard and an obstruction to others, could be overtook by lorries, buses, etc.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to block change.
Okay.
You know what block changing is?
Where you miss a gear.
Yeah, so we're going to go 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6.
2 to 4.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
We just bounce to neutral, flip backwards, 2nd to 4,
Right, yeah.
4 to 6, push up, bounce to neutral, across, and then back to 6. That will save fuel and also just wear and tear on the components. I'm going to go ahead of the roundabout.
Okay.
So what are you going to check and do to exit when it's time?
Mirrors and signal as well.
Good. Nice one. Now the other thing with block changing is if you build up speed with any significance, you go to 2nd to 3rd, and you go 3rd, you lift the clutch up, and the engine braking slows the car down, just come centre of the lane, Chris. And so it's illogical, really.
Okay.
And with the block change, you won't get that. You won't get the engine braking slowing down before you actually accelerate in the next gear. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I could probably explain it better if it was stationary, but we're going to go ahead at the first roundabout. Oh, there's the sign, and left at the second one. So ahead, then left.
Okay.
And again, what are you going to do to exit?
Mirrors and signal.
Yeah.
Checked it first.
Okay, sorry. So we're going to turn left at the next one.
First exit.
Awesome. So that's easy. We're actually still in 3rd.
Yeah.
So we'll go 3rd to 5th when you're ready. But boost up the speed first. Get centre of your lane. Check your mirrors so you know your surroundings. 3rd to 3rd. Just take your time. Go. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen.
Right.
More gas. More gas. More gas. More gas. Just take your time. I want you to go back to neutral first. Okay. Yeah. Just take your time.
Yeah.
You need to feel it go to neutral and then push across. You know when it hits that sidewall where it don't go anymore?
Yeah.
Then push up into 5th. And then back into 6th. Keep your push towards you. And you won't bounce to 4th, for example. Keep up to date with your mirrors, keep up to date with your speedometer, and we'll get that speed up to 70, because I can't see a reason why we wouldn't, can you?
No.
That's the way I like to look at it. Look for a justification as to why we wouldn't do 70. Because the aim is to make safe, reasonable progress where possible. As we get level with the green sign, just check your mirror, see how close thing is behind.
Yeah. Right.
And just ease off.
Yeah.
And I don't need to go back on the gas again. The reason being, it turns to 50 very abruptly around the corner. You wouldn't know that unless you're down here as a passenger all the time. So just don't go back on the gas whenever you do. You really don't want to be braking at these speeds unless you really have to. So just letting the engine braking naturally bring that speed down. Alright, it was 52 as we come past, but ideally, the more you get practicing with that, you'll get that down without having to touch the brake. That's when you know you're really good at planning. Okay, so the green sign ahead in 200 yards, what have we got?
Is that like a join in?
Yeah, so we need to know our escape, if we've got an escape route. Well done. After this and after the, if you ease off in case something's coming, so after this and after the white van we might need to move, and we do. So if you do that, good. See what I mean? Yeah. We'd already pre-thought it and pre-planned it and it worked, didn't it? Yeah. If you leave that till you're there and then you think about it, well, you've not adjusted your speed, there could be a car on the side. So that worked quite, I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
So we're just going to stay in this lane now, regardless, and we're going to follow for Chaddeston.
Yeah.
So keep your speed at, well, based on the cars in front, so if we get to 50 and that means we end up tailgating the silver car, then that's no good. But let's pick up the speed. Just remember what the speed limit is now. We said it dropped
50,
to.
isn't it?
Yeah. So we're gaining on the black now, so just, that's it. reverse, and it wouldn't be right-hand lane hogging here, even though we could move back to the left because we're not overtaking anymore. Do you know why? Because we're positioning. Do you see the green sign there? And it displays all the roads and lanes are splitting off. So you've got to position somewhere, and I'd say as early as a mile back or less if it's less busy. You need to be thinking about what lane you need, because on the other hand, there's black one coming across, just be aware. On the other hand, if you get over late, that could be dangerous. So we don't want to do that. We're going to stay in the left-hand lane, and then we're going to turn left at the roundabout to the top. Sorry, it was already there. And the new limit for the new road is?
30.
Yeah. What gear are you going for?
I'm going to go first on this one, I think.
Keep looking, you might be able to go. And that would require a second. Now look at the lines in front of you, Chris. You see we can get in front of the white car for a better view?
Yeah.
Don't forget to set revs first. Why can you get in front of that white car then for a better view? There's loads of stuff in the road today. It's quite windy, isn't it, I suppose?
Because it kind of, the markings go further out.
You've got it.
Because it's a roundabout, the markings like follow it round, so you can stick out a little bit further.
That's it. Did you spot that on that one then, do you think?
Yeah, I think it did.
So why didn't you?
Because I was going to edge forward and then I saw a gap, so I thought, might as well just kind of drive on.
Yeah, makes sense. But I think before you do that initial stop, spot it then, and then you'll stop at it, won't you?
Yeah, it just makes it easier as well to see.
Yeah. What's the speed limit, Chris?
It's 30, isn't it? Yeah.
So if you're going over the limit, what will that do to your overall stopping distance?
Decrease it. No, increase it. So yeah.
And we
stopping ability.
Yeah, and we said earlier that these type of roads, much more is likely to develop on these type of roads. So it's very important to keep on top of that. Going dark already.
No.
Weird. So it feels like there's like a storm coming or something. Do you think?
It does. All the stuff on the road, orange sun, it's just weird.
Right, it's going quite well into the carriageways and that.
Yeah, I feel quite comfortable on it.
Do you want to have a chat over slip roads and?
Yeah.
Just cover that clutch because you might need it. Want to get them brakes on a bit early because if that Rover brakes in front of us, like that. So I didn't expect to brake, so I didn't see the pedestrian. So you really want to get them brakes on here so we never get that close ever. What we'll do, we'll just pull into this lane, pull up, talk over the slip roads, and then we'll go off and do some shall we and add that into what you're doing. So if you turn right at these lights, please, Chris. In your right mirror there. Got to get your foot down a bit there, Chris.
Yeah.
You was right in what you was doing initially.
Just needed to
You've got to
speed up a little bit.
Got to get it going. Yeah. So it's like, in terms of your judgment and your deciding, you're getting the confidence. It's the execution on your initial decision, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So let's take the next road on the right. And yeah, pull up on the left at a safe place.
These are all driveways.
You was right what you was thinking.
Yeah.
We'll turn right at the end because I think it's a bit dodgy pulling here because we've got the vans and then the end of the road. Forward a little bit so that BMW doesn't think you're letting it go. That's it. It's not a problem in itself letting somebody go. Well, it could be.
Yeah.
But we don't want to give that impression because that's not what we want to do, is it?
No.
And then pull up on the left at a safe place. Just in front of, yeah, where this Astra is. Or, yeah. Bit awkward and not really anywhere to pull it. If somebody comes, we'll just reverse out the way.
Yeah.
Right. Anything you want to catch up on? Been quite a lot going on, and there's been quite.
I think it's been going well.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm feeling a lot more comfortable, like on the quicker roads than I thought it was going to be. The instruction's good as well. Like it's helping me.
Good. Like a fish to water.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's going pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm still trying to. I'm doing it a lot better with my accelerate, but
you are
like back there with the bus, you just need to be a bit quicker on it.
Yeah, I think you'd moved off from the lights, was it, in first? You really just had to get your foot down in first, get a bit of, because you'd decided, I would have got as well.
Yeah.
You'd already decided you just need to get in second, get your foot down a bit. Not foot down. You're turning the corner, aren't you? But just foot down enough so that you can make the turn without it being dangerous, and then you just sort of ease off as you come into the, you know, the thick of the bend, if you like, or the new road, which until you've made your assessment. Right, so slip roads. Here's a little picture. Look, it depicts a motorway, but it's the same concept. Basically, if you can do carriageways, you should be good with motorways. I think personally, carriageways can be more difficult than carriageways, A roads. You know, with the green signs, like what we've been doing, as opposed to motorways with the blue signs, because motorways always have slip roads and they're always quite long. A roads have little quirky bits like T-junctions on them and things where things could pull out, and pedestrian bits where pedestrians cross and all sorts, whereas motorways don't. So, slip roads. What's your understanding of a slip road to enter onto?
It's not like a junction, so you're not meant to stop. It's made for you to like get your speed up.
Yeah.
So, in theory, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but my parents always say that people in the first lane should move over when there's a slip road.
Yeah, it's a good point. We want to work together to keep the roads flowing. Because if we have a car stop there, because we could have, if we're the lorry and we could have moved, different conversation altogether with the lorry. Lorries are fixed speeds; they're limited to 60 now. So on a dual carriageway anyway, or more. So if you can get to 70 because you've already worked out it's a dual carriageway, and you're here, you just keep your foot down on the way to 70. The lorry's not going to whack his foot down and fly up behind you, so you close the gap. That's not going to happen. So do take into account types of vehicle. But to go back to your question, yeah, if it's just a car, you'll see signs like it's just signs like this and that, just telling you that there's going to be cars coming on. You know, like we saw. Sorry, I had a bit of a mind blank then. These ones,
yeah,
you know, like we saw the green ones on the A road. So well, you did it, we did it. didn't we? We moved across.
We did move across, yeah, because we did a lane change.
We spotted the sign and we thought, oh, something could happen here. We checked just in case, and it actually did, so it works out well. Yeah, that's an interesting topic as well. Who's got priority between this green one and the lorry? Or
would it be the lorry?
Yeah, why is that? Relate it to Crossroads.
Because it's the main.
Yeah.
It's the main road as opposed to like an adjoining one.
And this one's got to cross the path on it to get onto.
Yeah.
So it's got little dashed lines there. Worst case scenario, you'd have to stop here if there was no way on.
Yeah.
But the slip road's that long. I mean, you should be looking as early as here across and controlling your speed to suit.
Yeah.
So if there's loads of cars doing 60, well, I'd be on my gas getting to 70, so I can just get in front of them. If there's loads of cars doing 70 and I'm side by side, well, if you're doing 70 as well, you're going to be breaking the limit to enter.
Yeah.
Plus time's running out, and you see that gap's narrowing and narrowing. You don't want to be forced into a barrier or onto the grass verge.
Yeah.
You damage the car at that speed for sure, and who knows what's going to happen to you. So you've got a couple of options. You can either ease off, stay the same, or speed up.
Okay.
If you've got a slip road where there's 2 lanes, best practice, stay is left-hand lane. The right is just to overtake slow-moving vehicles, but then move back into the left. If you enter in the right, it's a bit short, I find, and it puts you on the carriageway a bit early when you could just use all that road to get better judgment.
Time to see as well.
Exactly, and a better speed. So that's the sort of things I would be thinking about in terms of judgment. Any ideas about signal? Should we be signalling on these? Because we can't go anywhere else, can we? It's obvious where we're going.
Would you signal anyway, or would
You certainly would. Why do you think that could be beneficial?
It could just make cars aware. So I don't know.
Exactly.
Like when your indicator's going, they pay more attention, I think.
These might have been on here for about 3 hours. Bit tired. Busy weekend, whatever. That signal's going to prompt them. Like when we give the early indicators at junctions and brake lights and things. It's just an early spark to say, oh, yeah, I can move. I better move. You know, I'll have a look, see if I can move over for Chris now, because I can see his intentions. So that's the reason for that. Do use the most of the slip road and don't overlook to the right.
Okay.
Just before we enter, have a quick sideways glance just to make sure there's nothing at the side of us.
Yeah.
But it's the normal routine, centre right mirror, like we have done for the lane change.
Yeah.
I guess in effect that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So do pay attention to road markers as well. So solid white lines here. So should we be crossing this bit?
No.
No. Same with here. So exit roads then. What's your understanding of these?
It's kind of the opposite to a slip road, so you got to slow down. Yeah. Do you have to indicate quite early on them?
Yeah, sometimes they're not as long as you would want them to be. They always generally are on motorways, but if you don't signal to exit people and you slow down, they won't know why you're slowing down, and they'll get close, and then the next thing you brake even more, and then they haven't thought to change lanes. Unfortunately, we've got to plan for people, really. Yeah. Because we know people are a bit, occupied with other things, unfortunately. But the idea is, if possible, look for 300-yard marker, give a signal at 300 yards, so people know what you're going to do. So if they know you're turning left, they're probably going to go round you and get off on their way. Yeah. And try and do the braking in the safety of the exit road. Okay. The slip road, because people would expect you to brake in here. Yeah. Whereas if they're coming down doing 100 behind you, don't brake. Yeah. You know what I mean? Generally, there'll be a roundabout at the end or a T-junction, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Again, it's going to be you reducing lots of speed, so brake. Don't bother like 5, 4, 3. Don't bother with all that rubbish. Yeah. Straight from 6 to 3 or 6 to 2 or 5 to 3 to whatever it might be, and make sure the clutch is up. Sometimes there's like quite a sharp bend before the junction and things like that. There is for Borough Wash exit. We need to get in the gear, clutch up before the bend, just like your normal junctions. Say.
That's quite a tricky one, isn't it? That one.
It is. I was thinking to do that one with you. Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I can do that. So with that one, the slip road's, the exit road's dead short, isn't it?
Reasonably, yeah.
So I'd have no choice really than to brake.
a little bit just before we enter the slip road. Well done. But we can't signal too early either because we've got the Shell garage, which is close. Well, the last thing we want is somebody pulling out of there at 5 miles an hour and we're doing 60 because they think we're turning into the Shell garage. Yeah, it's quite a tricky one. So I'm gonna we'll indicate just after the Shell garage, and then just after the entry. Yes, yeah. Yeah, so as soon as you've gone past the point where you can turn off, then indicate. You got it. And then just off the gas at that phase, covering the brake, deciding when to. Yeah. Being informed with what's behind and how close at the same time. Do you want me to guide you through that speed down? That might help, yeah. Because I think, although I'm quite comfortable with it today, I mean, like you say, it is quite a sharp one and I don't want to be taking it too quick. Yeah. Do you want me to help you with... Yeah, it won't be good with it. Do you want me to help you with the slip road on as well? Yeah. I think so today because it's the first time. Okay. What we'll do then, we'll any other things you want to go over there? No, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Good stuff. We'll get into a position where we can enter the carriageway then, and then we'll have a look. Cool. So drive on when you're ready, turn left when you reach the end of the road at the junction. Left at the end of the road, please. Okay. Just lower that bite, Chris. How fast would we have gone forward at that bite? Pretty quick. And how close are we to? Pretty close, yeah. Now you decide now, don't you, with your clutch, rather than you just whiz off. When would you need a higher bite like that, for example, potentially? If you're pulling off quickly. Maybe. I'm thinking more of an incline. There's an incline. Oh yeah. Higher bite, stop it running back. Only slightly though, even then. Probably a bit more revs, a tiny bit. That sun's red now, you know. Is it? Yeah. Look. Weird that is. I've never seen it like that, ever, in my life. Can't believe it. So turning right, Chris, at the lights. Just come more centre, just in case a bus turns in, don't be too close to that line. Okay. Stop at the first white line, Chris. Just thought you was going to go in the box then. Yeah. So while we're waiting, so we don't burn the clutch out, what can you do with your right foot? Just bring it off. Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That is. It is quite cool. Don't worry too much about the judgment aspect of it there. Okay. Why would I say that to you? That's a junction. Steer left back into your normal driving position. A bit more straighten that. And try and keep monitoring that as we come down the road. Just because that was a light controlled junction back there. Okay. Oh yeah. So you don't want to spend too long looking right and left. You'll have the car behind driving the back of you. You don't have to worry about it because the light's doing the work. You just need a little glance, just make sure there's nothing trickling through, but that's, you know, it's very unlikely, it's not impossible. I'm not going to say go through it and not look at all. No. Look as you're going. Lane position's good at the moment. How often are you thinking about lane positioning? Are you thinking about it as soon as you enter new roads and during? And yeah, doing it a lot more. Good. Keep doing it. Now we're gonna turn left at the roundabout ahead. See where the lorry just went past. Yeah. So what lane do we need usually? Left that lane. Can we though? Because we've got a solid white line there. No. So we've got bus lane, haven't we? So we need to change lanes when the bus lane ends. So if we prepare for the lane change before it ends and signal, cover your braking clutch because you might need to dead slow as you're coming in. Don't cross the white line at all. Sideways glance before we go. Good stuff. This comes up on test route, this one. Lovely with the gas first. Fantastic.
It's controlled by lights.
It certainly is, yeah, well done.
So we're going left on this one.
We are, first exit. Need that left signal to say you're exiting.
Okay.
Anyway, we're on the slip road now, and it's national for about 50 yards, and then it's 40. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do much of what we said, but we're still going to filter in. So pop your signal on now, they can see the flashing. Don't accelerate till you've checked your mirrors and had an